Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in Smackdown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw. Oh, baby, I like it Raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. We're also available wherever fine podcasts are available, including iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Google Play. Although I always get tweets from people saying, do you know why the latest one wasn't uploaded to Google Play? And I'm like, I don't know. Talk to our podcast server about that. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know. I don't know how these things work. I get on there and I check, and then I maybe see it and I don't see it, and then the one that's my fault is SoundCloud. Sometimes I forget SoundCloud.
Yeah, I do that too with Dirt Sheet sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what? I love SoundCloud. I know that people out there love it, but it's such a low priority for us because about 500 people, 500 to 700 people listen to it there, which is a lot. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We love everybody listening to SoundCloud. But like compared to what we like the other ones, it's always kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh, here for you guys out there who like this thing too, this weird SoundCloud thing too. Here it is. Anyways, we appreciate everybody out there hitting the subscribe and download button wherever it might be that you're checking out Going In Raw, and of course the patrons out there at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We had a great live stream crowd today, earlier for our Raw episode, which should be going up very shortly now. But it's up by now because the people watching this already know about it. It's very clever. I'm watching over there too.
Yeah.
So anyways, the first post-Survivor Series Smackdown where we found out whether or not Shane McMahon was dead or alive.
He's alive.
He is in fact confirmed. That should be our thumbnail. Confirmed. Shane McMahon is alive after that nasty bump he took at Survivor Series.
He looked like he was still hurting though.
He sounded and he looked like he was in pain.
Yep.
He really seemed like he was out of it.
Yeah.
Because when you whack your... Now, I read that it looked like they hit heads. I thought his head snapped back on the mat.
I didn't notice them hit heads, him and Reigns. I just noticed, his head hit the mat and looked like Reigns kind of landed on the top of his head.
Because some people were saying Reigns was pretty banged up too.
Yeah.
Was feeling
Yeah, he was slow to get up from that spot as well.
Yeah, exactly. So good to know everybody's okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody's in perfect working order. Did Reigns have a match last night?
Nope.
No, he didn't. That
Nope.
could be why. It could be take the night off.
Yep,
buddy.
I'm sure that's why.
Yeah. So anyways, it's sort of an up and down episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, the first half just wasn't that interesting.
Did you notice the one glaring difference tonight or last night versus what we usually get on SmackDown? It was the abundance of
Backstage segments.
That's right. Why were there so many backstage segments last night? SmackDown usually does really, really good with that in that department and sort of limiting the SmackDown the backstage segments.
There were 7 of them.
I put my makeup buffer over here so people can't see that I do makeup.
7 backstage segments.
In a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
I don't know what the count is on a 3-hour episode of Raw, but that sounds about right. There were a lot of backstage segments, and there was this recurring joke. Okay, we'll just start from the top.
Yeah, start from the very beginning, because that's where the joke kicks off.
Yeah, Shane comes out and...
does a promo saying, good job, Team Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically mentioning the men's match.
Yeah.
And then he calls out Dean Ambrose, because he said, hey, your hijinks almost cost us, or could have cost us, the match.
Referencing the brief Shield reunion.
Yeah.
Where they put AJ through a table?
The announce table,
The announce table, yeah.
And so Dean comes out. He's being Dean.
He's being world champion Dean.
I know.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
There's kind of a difference.
There is.
The guy chasing the title talks fast. The guy who doesn't chase the title is Goofy. Mm-hmm. That's the main difference. Mm-hmm. And Goofy Dean came out. And at what point did Ellsworth come out? I forget the order here.
Shortly thereafter, I believe. Oh, because Shane says we have to congratulate the man that helped eliminate, or maybe Dean said that. I was kind of working while the opening segment was happening.
I know all three people in the ring at the same time. Ellsworth comes down.
But anyways, either Dean or Shane says, all right, let's bring out the man who helped eliminate Braun Strowman.
Yes.
James Ellsworth.
Yeah, Ellsworth comes down, and Shane O'Mac. Basically, what happens is Shane O'Mac is about to deliver the news that Ellsworth is getting a SmackDown contract, and Dean spoils it and says, "Come on, tell him he's getting a contract."
Well, no, because Shane said, "Well, we're gonna wait and just do it backstage quietly."
Okay, all right, yeah. So then whatever fucking happens, Ellsworth has got on a fucking contract with SmackDown now. Thank God for that, because I'm so done with Ellsworth.
Yeah.
I'm done with him. We had another main event tonight where AJ Styles took on James Ellsworth. That's 3 now.
I know.
That's 3 now.
And guess who's 3-0?
I was good with 2.
James Ellsworth is 3-0 against AJ Styles.
So, anyways, Ellsworth Ellsworth is out there. Shane says, "Dean, you need to go away. You need to leave the arena.
You get the night off.
You get the night off.
Get out of the arena."
So the rest of the time, there's this running joke where Dean can't take fucking hint, and he just keeps on coming back.
Yeah.
So then AJ Styles comes out, and he starts berating James Ellsworth, and he says, "You should book me in a ladder match against James Ellsworth and put his contract on the line."
Yeah, because James hasn't done anything to earn that contract.
Which is absolutely true. Then Shane says, no, he's already earned it. And Ellsworth says, no, I want to do it. I want to fight. And granted, he's in a freaking neck brace. He looks ridiculous. And he says, I want to do it, put my contract on the line. And if I win, I get not just a contract, but a future title opportunity for AJ's world title. So we're going to have to suffer through that at some point because AJ won the match with some machinations from Dean.
James won the match.
What did I say? AJ? I'm sorry. James Ellsworth wins the match. And it was the main event. I'll be honest with you. I was relatively entertained by the main event. That doesn't just because they did a good job booking the main event.
I know.
Doesn't mean I wanted to see it in the first place.
I know.
It's like we're coming off a Raw that had a Big 4 pay-per-view level match with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, where they went all around the arena. They tore it up. They tore it down. It was fantastic. Seth Rollins was jumping off of shit. Kevin Owens was crashing through shit. It was amazing. Then we get James Ellsworth in a ladder match.
So here's the thing. Raw, in their episode following one of the major pay-per-views, they struck a more serious tone. Whereas SmackDown, early on, right after the brand split, SmackDown was far and away the goofier of the two shows.
Yeah.
It seems like the last couple months they kind of gotten away from that. I mean, they'd still have some humor in the show, but it wasn't quite as goofy. Tonight, it just seemed like they're like, all right, let's make a goofy show.
SmackDown is best when it straddles a line between being kind of goofy, but still adding weight to the matters at hand.
And the only...
That's fine, keep going.
And the only segment that seemed to have had any weight to it was the tag team turmoil match at the very end.
Yeah.
And that's because that's when the Wyatt showed up.
And overall, they were making a big deal about the tag team turmoil match. Yeah. The entire production was. And so we're stuck with AJ. And I'm like, I get that we're in the middle of an AJ Dean feud, but I just want to see more. The TLC's coming up. We're going to get hopefully AJ and Dean's blow off match because that was booked.
The problem with the AJ Dean feud right now is that James Ellsworth is pretty much the star of the feud.
James Ellsworth is Chris Jericho's list of SmackDown. Mm-hmm. They focus way too much on James Ellsworth, just like they focus way too much on Chris Jericho's list. Mm-hmm. And that's the main problem. And it was cute at first, and it was goofy at first, and it should have ended after his second victory. Mm-hmm. Second victory is like, okay, that's it. We're good. We're done.
Yep.
He can be the mascot, but enough of him and Dean palling around, enough of him and AJ. I'm so done with it.
Yeah.
They need to not confuse, good merch sales of Ellsworth's shirt with, he's a glorified Gillberg. If Gillberg debuted today, he would probably sell a lot of merch.
Yeah.
Because people like to wear goofy shit too.
Yeah.
But at some point, it is the world championship. I hold it, in my eyes as a fan, in a higher esteem than the Universal title.
Yes.
I think you do too.
Yeah, I mean, the world title is one that has the lineage.
It's got the lineage, and in my opinion, even though, I love Kevin Owens, it has the better wrestler. And look, it's 1A, 1B. I love Kevin Owens, and last night, or 2 nights ago on Raw, he totally proved himself, again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
But AJ Styles is a special talent who should be matching up every episode against special talents. Mm-hmm. and that's what we should be seeing right now. He's not young, he's an older guy. I hope that he has plenty of time left on.
Although if he keeps taking bumps like he did at Survivor Series or last night on
SmackDown. There's been so many times we've been like, oh my god, AJ, be careful. And so we had that. So that was a setup, and then the main event. Like I said, throughout the entire episode, Dean was coming back, and Shane just kept on saying, "Go away, go away."
Yeah, a couple of those segments were funny, like the one where he was the Mountie.
Yeah, that was funny.
He almost broke.
Him and Daniel Bryan obviously almost broke.
Yeah.
Character and started cracking up. So that was funny stuff because he said, "You know why? Because the Mountie always gets his man," and he started cracking up.
Yeah,
and so that was good. We also had the Miz and there was a lot of Daniel Bryan in this episode. He had to put out a lot of fires.
Yeah.
So we had the Miz and Daniel Bryan backstage. Miz was in the middle of a photo shoot with his Intercontinental Championship. He wanted another fucking celebration. Thank God they didn't do that.
Miz giving.
Daniel Bryan said,
And said, nope, you're defending that belt.
No.
He said you disgraced Smackdown with how you retained your title at Survivor Series.
I hated that finish. It was
awful.
I hate it. I don't like those finishes. Not in big matches like that.
No, I agree.
So anyways, Daniel Bryan said, it's funny though, because like Kalisto, he didn't, technically I guess he lost by DQ.
Yeah.
But, and I guess it was through no fault of his own that he didn't win. I just like that Sami Zayn gets punished for losing through no fault of his own. And Kalisto gets rewarded.
I know.
But because of losing through no fault of his own by getting an IC title shot.
I know.
That's just, a juxtaposition of, corporate America. Stephanie's way of doing things and Daniel Bryan's way of doing things, I guess.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So anyways, Kalisto took on The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Surprise, surprise. Baron Corbin comes out.
No, say it right.
Baron Corbin.
Thank you.
Comes out.
Did you notice he was wearing dress shoes?
That makes me happy. I like that he had a black shirt with black ink on it.
And it wasn't a Baron Corbin shirt.
I wish it was.
And during his match,
get that shit.
During his match with Kane, which shirt did he wear? His old shirt.
His old shirt. He's not huge into his new shirt. What's going on? That's the new stuff.
Maybe he doesn't like the fit like you do.
Probably forgot. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, because we're both kind of chubby guys. Yeah, and did you notice the botch in the TV direction too when Baron came out for the Miz Kalisto match? It like cut awkwardly to the crowd and nothing was there, and then it cut to Kalisto overshooting Miz to meet Baron, but we still didn't know what the hell was going on, and then it showed Baron. Yeah. It was just a clusterfuck. That's okay. Mistakes will happen.
Yes.
Anyways, it's live TV.
So Baron comes out, distracts Kalisto.
Mm-hmm.
Miz hits the skull-crushing finale.
Yeah.
Picks up the win, and then Baron starts beating up Kalisto.
And in the meantime, Miz trucks up the ramp with him and his lovely wife, Maurice, and Dolph Ziggler gives him a big old... Dolph Ziggler, you said, when he showed up, he looked like he just come from the docks.
Yeah, he had a Nick cap on, it looked like.
That's right. He was from season 3 of The Wire. And he gives the Miz a big super kick. And so Daniel Bryan revealed later on that they're booked. TLC, Dolph's rematch for the IC
in a ladder match. Oh, on Talking Smack,
Baron Corbin's booked into a TLC match with Kalisto.
No,
too.
A chairs match.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, chairs match. That's right. And Baron Corbin's very happy. And he said he always holds the mic like this. He says, because half the time he holds it down like this, and you can not even hear what he's saying, and then he holds it up like this. So I get paid to beat up Kalisto with chairs. With chairs. Anyways, so good for Baron Corbin. I like Baron Corbin's like one of the few things that I liked about SmackDown tonight. He's one of the few standout things. He's one of the things that's sort of a standout thing for SmackDown for me now. Because he's not booked into anything. How is it he's been booked in a feud with Kalisto since seemingly the early 90s?
Yeah, I know.
And
just now they're finally having a match?
Do I want
match?
Do I want to see this feud continue? Not really.
Did they have a match before Kalisto got hurt or whatever? Like a match that actually the bell rang, they had a match, someone was pinned.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they've done that yet.
So this will be the first time they have a genuine
an actual match. Yeah. Well, we'll knock on. Is this wood right here? Knock on this shit, because who knows if that's actually going to take place. Somebody might get injured.
So guess what happened after the Miz Kalisto match?
Live sex show with Miz and Maurice.
Another backstage segment.
Oh, yeah. More
where Alexa Bliss goes to Shane and Daniel Bryan and says, hey, when do I get my rematch?
I love Alexa Bliss. She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
Her and Baron Corbin are my like two MVPs of SmackDown right now.
And then Becky Lynch pops in the frame and says, you'll get your rematch at TLC.
Super like cringeworthy comedic segment this entire backstage segment was. And a lot of you people out there tweeting at me at Real Going and Raw. Enjoyed it. That's great. I'm glad. Anytime I say something negative and they come back with, oh, I really liked it, I just think, good. I'm glad. I'm glad somebody out there is getting enjoyment from this. I like that. That's good. They're doing their job. The WWE.
Yeah. Natalia.
I like that you have here in the notes this Dean Shane backstage, and I just wish it was Dean Douglas and Shane Douglas.
Same person.
I know. It'd be like that Kermit meme.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, what now?
Natalia showed up too.
Yeah.
And then Dean showed up with pizza.
Yeah, because Shane said, go away. And he said, yeah, I'll go get pizza. And Shane said, no, leave the arena. And so Dean left the arena, got pizza, came back. Couldn't get the hint. Is this when he started yelling at Dean and then Daniel Bryan had to tell him to chill out? Or was that the next backstage segment? I forget. I don't know.
I think it was that one.
Doesn't really matter.
I believe it was that one.
Anyways, that set up a match between Becky Lynch and Natalia.
Yes.
And that took place later on. I think
Alexa Bliss was on commentary.
Oh, how was she? Was she good?
Yeah.
I think I stepped out
great.
to do something at that point to get Gypsy's dog food.
Yeah.
So she was good.
Yeah.
I like Alexa Bliss a lot.
Yeah, I like her a lot too.
She's good stuff. Let's see here. What else do we have?
We should mention that Becky Lynch went over, made Natalia tap, and then Alexa Bliss came in the ring.
Nice.
Gave her a DDT.
Oh, it was a good looking DDT? Mm-hmm. I like it. So Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss, they're going to fight at TLC.
Yeah.
Is it going to be any sort of match?
They didn't say any sort of stipulation, no.
Oh, okay. I think it'd be kind of foolish at this point to just throw them in a TLC match, because it's like, we just got Hell in a Cell. Give it some time to breathe.
Exactly.
Or fuck it, let them do it. Who cares? Put them in a ladder match. Fuck it, do it live.
So then there was the tag team turmoil match.
This was
which
fun.
You mentioned
This
earlier.
was probably the highlight of the night for me. This was a lot of fun because it started off with Hype Bro and Ascension.
Yeah,
they started out together. Everybody on my Twitter feed also pointing out that the chubbier Ascension is getting chubbier. The chubby Ascension is getting chubbier. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to do that cardio. Well, don't eat after 6 p.m. You know,
I don't think it's that late.
Stay off the sugars.
I think it's don't eat after 10.
Well, it depends on when you go to bed also.
Okay.
But I know I've heard that 6 p.m. is a good time to stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time would you have to go to bed in order to stop eating at 6 p.m.?
7.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't go to bed at 7?
It's a little early.
Really?
Right now, I feel like it's past my bedtime.
I think it is. I know. That's just a regular Tuesday for us.
I know.
Well, it's great though, because I love it. Like once we get past Tuesday, this week's different.
Yeah.
But once we get past Tuesday, I like it because Thursday's fun.
Yeah.
It's smooth sailing because Thursday we get to just talk about our top 10 lists.
Yeah.
And then play some fun wrestling, wrestling.
Fun wrestling.
Lately, it's been just a cause of concern. The friendo community out there. Look, this guy and I, you can say that we're like a married couple or like brothers. We're gonna bicker, and fight, but in the end,
it's all good.
Love prevails.
It's all good.
I don't want people to get turned off by our petty bickering over video games, but there are some serious issues there. There's some very serious issues.
That
you and I don't see eye to eye on. Tag team turmoil. Talking about tag teams.
Yeah,
tag teams. You and I, buddy.
Okay,
same page.
Sure. Hype Bro took on the Ascension.
You know my favorite part of this match was when Breezango came out and you were legit tickled. I don't know why. Maybe you can explain it. Hype Bro, he got rid of Ascension, then Breezango came down.
and they came out and it's like, oh, it's Breezango. That's all I said.
Second favorite part of the night was when he said, hey, look at Fandango's hair. It's poofy. It looks like he didn't put product in it.
Yeah, usually his hair's, like...
on point. I know.
Nicely done.
I know. It looks soft. It looked poofy.
Mm-hmm.
It made me laugh because he thought they were going on, when the Vaudevillains came out. He was like, oh, I've got to go out now. oh no, I didn't put my LA style gel in.
Yeah.
I just like your reaction to that. Oh man, they're so ridiculous. They're so, and that's one reason why I love Breezango.
Yeah.
There's so, and because I heard on the dirt sheets like 2 months ago.
Yeah, they had like high hopes.
And they were going to start packaging them in a more serious manner. And I feel like they've gone the exact opposite route than that. There is nothing serious about these guys. It's all cartoon. It's like they got their outfits at the Spirit Halloween clearance sale right after Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways, they took on Hype Bro.
And they eliminated
Hype
Bro from the tag team turmoil contest.
Then came out the America, as JBL says, America Alpha.
Yeah.
American Alpha team, Maggle.
They eliminated Breezango.
And the Vaudevillians.
The Vaudevillains were eliminated really quickly. They were
I
in
think,
the ring
yeah,
for about 25 seconds.
Because I stepped out of the... I was here to see them cartoonishly run down the ramp. What's his face? The tall guy. He's fast.
Oh, Aiden English?
Aiden English is way faster than
Simon
Gotch. Yeah. So he comes flying down the ramp. I sort of chuckled. I left to go, I don't know, deal with my dog or something. I literally came back a minute later, and they were already out.
Yep.
I was like, oh, now they're fighting the Usos. They were like knee deep in the Uso match.
Yeah.
And that was a good matchup right there at the end. That was a really good sort of finish to the match. American Alpha went over. And then, surprise, surprise, now we know what Bray Wyatt's going to be up to next.
Yep.
Him and Randy Orton are going to have tag gold because on the Titan train, the lights went out. We saw them on the Titantron, all three of the Wyatts, and Bray Wyatt said, you think you're finished, but you're not, because next week you're going to take Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton on for that, assuming for that number one contendership.
Yeah, yeah.
Is American Alpha ever going to get a break?
I don't know. Assuming this is not even if it is just a 1 week thing, this is a good opportunity for American Alpha.
Oh, I love it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I love it. I just feel like it's kind of, I love it now. I feel like it's kind of like lose-lose for everybody, though. Because, okay, if the Wyatts go over, that's kind of interesting for them to hold tag gold, or for them to mess with Slater and Rhino at least. If they lose to either of those teams, here's my point. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt are way above Slater, Rhino, American Alpha.
Oh, I know.
They're way above that. So they have to win those belts.
Yeah.
If they do, that's one of those situations that I never liked, where they sacrifice the tag division prize for a singles storyline.
Well, here's the thing, though. If there will be an inevitable split between Bray and Randy. Okay. And when that happens, assuming they're still holding the tag team titles.
It'd be great if Randy Orton retired as a member of the Wyatt family.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be weird.
Assuming that happens, then... at the resolution, at least of that phase of the storyline, the tag division will still be involved, and either Slater and Rhino or American Alpha will get those belts.
Yeah, no, I know. I think you're right. I have a bit of faith.
I think we both are of the opinion that this Bray Randy storyline is going to have their blow off match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
So that's.
I love that it's been going this long, and it's going to go to Mania. I love that. I do love that a lot. Because that's like potential like sort of feud of the year type situation there. So we've got you're right because them sort of coming down to the tag division. I guess the case could be made that the Wyatts holding the belts are going to elevate the belts. And then,
especially that division is really lacking in star power.
It really is. So, all right, you convinced me. Good job. Let's see here.
Bray will get his first belt.
My goodness gracious. Let's see here. What else happened? We had the Natalya versus Becky Lynch. Talked about that. Carmella and Nikki had some drama backstage. Nikki was blaming Carmella for attacking her. Some people on Twitter thinking that it's all red everything.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I'm surprised you didn't directly go to Natalya and be
I know.
It had to be you.
Yeah.
Then in the co-main event we had Baron Corbin versus Kane. I like to think of anything that Baron Corbin is in as the co-main event.
I know you do.
Yeah. He's great. I get paid money. I'm gonna get you some Breezango action figures.
Yeah.
So that when you wake, you can put them next to your bedside. So when you wake up, you're tickled by life.
Play with them.
Exactly. Like I play with CM Punk. You punk.
So yeah, during the Corbin Kane match,
Corbin Kane.
Kalisto comes out.
Yeah.
And
does his bit.
Interferes, distracts Corbin. Corbin eats a choke slam.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the ref had already, he called it a DQ once Kalisto came in and started punching somebody.
And then Corbin and Kalisto went at it.
Yeah.
A chair was introduced, which led on Talking Smack, as we mentioned before.
You know what they should do for run-ins?
Chair match.
They should treat them like they're fans and have a couple security guards take them away and then just keep the match going. I like that for run-ins better than DQs.
Okay.
I like that better. Why throw the match out? The match is going.
Well, I mean, it's so long as no major punches have been thrown.
Ref backs him up, says, "Are you okay? You good to go?" It's just a punch. You've eaten 20 by this guy already. But we all know that
but they
fake.
add up. That 21st could just be the one that just totally decimates a person.
You want to keep going? You want to keep going? It should be his decision, especially if they're going to throw the match out and something's on the line. Ask the guy who has something to gain. You want to keep going? Do that.
No, I agree with that.
I like that a lot better.
I do too.
In our federation, that's how it should be.
That was pretty much that was SmackDown.
Can fun wrestling be all no DQ? No DQ, headshots allowed, everything allowed?
No.
Blood, every match is a blood match?
Top Notch has been thinking about how to approach
I don't know
chairs.
how that's even possible because he's a fictional character.
So expect an announcement soon as far as the usage of chairs in fun wrestling.
Are we going for oldest or he's going to make an official announcement?
Yeah. Oldest
from
Oldest
Patreon champion Carlos Hackworth.
Yeah, what's up, friendos? Which titles do you think will change hands at TLC? I know your thoughts may change between now and then. World title, not changing hands.
Definitely not changing hands. Is the tag match going to be at TLC?
I think yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, so the Wyatt, we'll assume.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said the finals of the tag team turmoil, but I guess no, they're not really. Wyatt will probably win them from Slater and Rhino
at TLC. That makes sense. Like they're gonna use that for their storyline.
Yeah, and then Becky should. I don't know. Do you think Alexa Bliss has a chance to getting that women's title off Becky?
She has two hands. There's always a chance.
Always a chance.
No mercy. Jose GGR. Is it clear with how wild this episode of SmackDown is that a SmackDown writer watches Going In Raw? No. If they did, they would know how much we hate backstage segments. So I think maybe they watch it, but they don't like us.
Yeah, that could be.
That could be.
John Herkoff. Hey, guys. How would you book Heath Slater after he and Rhino were finished as a tag team?
Hey, you know what I noticed? Well, I'll get this in the next question. You know what? I think he's got a great career ahead of him as long as SmackDown's upper mid card is the way it is. Because I think he's a Dolph type guy. I think he's a Miz. I think he could be that. They don't have much of a mid card.
Yeah.
He could be that.
Yeah.
He's a tag team champion. He's got kids to feed. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not. You're supposed to be the optimistic one. I'm supposed to be the one shooting down things left and right.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you tell me then. Where does Heath Slater go?
Probably back to the lower mid card.
Is there a lower mid card on SmackDown? That's the tag team division.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody in the lower mid card is a tag team. There's only an upper mid card. There's no actual mid card.
That's true.
Because there's Ms. Dolph and then Baron. Baron's upper mid card.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see here. Even though he's never really. Anyways, retired Dwayne Nix. This is a good question. What are the chances The Undertaker faces AJ Styles for the world title at Rumble? I think that's a better chance now because from all indications, Mania 33 is going to be his retirement match. That's what I've been reading on the dirt sheets.
Yeah.
He just got his hip replaced, and that's why he said that. I'm surprised, though, he didn't show up tonight.
Yeah, I know.
You'd have figured that the first one after Survivor Series, he'd show up.
Yeah.
I think that's a likely situation. I think it's at least a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Let's see. TLC's 2 weeks away. Maybe Taker will show up at the first one after TLC and set something up with AJ. Maybe that'll be it.
Haven Elric. With the main event of tonight's SmackDown Live being a ladder match, do you think the writing team for SmackDown is more fun-loving, less strict than the Raw bookers? It seems the it seems they stick to more of an old school style.
I like the idea that the people in the writers room at SmackDown Live are more fun loving. I think he means the writing style. They have more creative freedom, but it's like the Raw writing room is all depressed. They're all chain smoking. It's like a comic book bullpen from the 1950s. Bunch of middle-aged guys with broken backs. Let's see here. Yeah, no, there does seem to be. I think, judging from the writing, even though Dave Meltzer says Vince is equally hands-on with both shows, maybe this is just indicative of the fact that Vince himself feels that Raw needs to be a heavier show, a more important show.
I'd be curious to know if the different tones on each show were
deliberate or not?
It was designed intentionally to be that way by Vince.
Yeah.
Or if it was just, okay, these are the writers that we like working together.
Again, this is
how we're going to split it up.
This is when we need like more backstage access.
I know.
This is the kind of stuff that
I know that'd all be so fascinating.
All the backstage info we get is like from shoot interviews that are like way past like any period of relevancy.
Yeah.
And so it would be really cool to understand, like, they've been openly acknowledging that it's a work for 20 years now, since basically the steroid trials when they had to be cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, there was the reality era when you'd get worked shoots, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's still happening.
That goes back to the Attitude.
And that's still happening now, too.
And that still happens now. Now you have stuff like Breaking Ground. They openly acknowledge these are performers. I wonder, given our interviews at the 2K event, not this past time, but the time before, when Charlotte was straight up out of character and... wasn't somebody else? The Miz, I think The Miz is just that way.
Yeah.
I think that's just The Miz. Was somebody else there? I mean, I know Brock and Paul Heyman were being kind of in character guys. Mm-hmm. They weren't really shooting. But Charlotte in particular was very out of character. She literally said, "I'm not that person."
Yeah.
Nobody else really said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sasha Banks. When we interview her, she is in character, and then we bring up something that she can sort of rap with us.
Yeah.
The video game stuff.
Yeah.
Dumps out of character.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're given advice or direction, kind of like, hey, we want to maintain a certain level of kayfabe, but also we openly acknowledge that these are performers doing a show.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of that'd be interesting to know, and especially because they've opened up like with Breaking Ground, which I thought was pretty innovative.
Yeah,
the way they showed behind the scenes developmental.
Total Divas and Total Bellas.
When they called Daniel Bryan, it kind of surprised. I wonder if they're ever going to embrace it. I know there are politics involved. I get all that, but okay. For example, the writers' room for Game of Thrones, for example. I guarantee you there's politicking there.
Oh, yeah.
Every creative endeavor is going to have some form of politicking when it comes to creative process. WWE is no different. Mm-hmm. But after every episode of Game of Thrones, they do the thing where you sit there with the writers and they talk about the episode and the developments and the characters. Yeah. Why couldn't they do something similar with the WWE where they sit down with one of the writers or Triple H or somebody? And because Triple H has kind of done it on Stone Cold's podcast, Vince has kind of done it.
I don't know if they'd be willing to pull the curtain back that far into the actual creative process to that degree. I don't know if that's still something they want to protect.
I mean, obviously, I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, they've come this far. It wouldn't surprise me if that's something that might happen to me. Even on Talking Smack, everybody's in character, but it's so much. We're Talking Smack is like a house show version of what I would think that should be, because they're all so loose with it. Anyways, I went up on a big tangent. Where were we?
Just Adam Mayhem.
Hey, friendos. First, Mauro Anello told Otunga to not listen to the Twitter troglodytes. And he says that can only mean one thing, Steve. I'm sure he's probably said Twitter troglodyte a lot of times.
Yes.
I don't think we were the first. I don't think we were the last. He also says, why is Nikki Bella and Carmella getting a gimmick match at TLC, but Becky and Bliss aren't? Oh, that's right. They're getting their matches.
I didn't know it was a gimmick match.
I think they said it's a gimmick match. Look that up. That's a good point. He says putting Nikki above the title. I'm not going to say Nikki's above title, but I think Nikki is definitely one of their A players in terms of her stature with the company. Does it say that?
No DQ.
Oh, that's right. No DQ. And there's tables, ladders, and chairs strewn all about that place.
Yeah.
So that could be a show stealer right there. Could be good because those two go at it.
Yeah.
Pretty stiff.
Yeah, the last time they had a match on SmackDown, it was pretty stiff. Intercontinental champ Jefferson Nakamura. What are the chances you two could be me for my... I think he means beat me for my title in WWE 2K17? The answer, no chance in hell. Oh, he's officially challenging us to a match in 2K17.
We kind of have a lot on our plate with our
kind of already,
2K17.
yeah.
I feel like if we add any more attention to it, it's probably gonna like break us. So maybe another time. But feel free to challenge. Look, we got to figure out this hub for friendos to connect. And I think it'd be great if Jefferson and one of the other friendos out there challenged Jefferson to an Intercontinental Championship match for his belt. I'd like to see that happen. I would watch that match.
Yes.
Maybe they can live stream it for us.
Yes.
Yeah. Kurt Schwuski. How do you feel about gimmick matches in the modern era? I wish there were more matches like submission, false count anywhere, et cetera, et cetera. I like them when they're
relevant to the story being told.
In moderation and, more importantly, what you just said. Relevant to the story being told.
For example, it makes sense for Nikki and Carmella to be in a no DQ match given the intensity of the feud between them.
And as opposed to Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch. And granted, that's an intense feud.
Yeah.
But Nikki and Carmella, I feel that's more of a personal grudge thing, and so that warrants a DQ.
Yeah. Jericho Kunzman. Why is it that Fandango beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, but AJ
People
couldn't?
keep harping on that. You know, on any given Sunday, you can pull out a win.
Yep.
I believe Al Pacino said that originally. Do you like that movie? Any Given Sunday? You gotta love it. You gotta love the movie. It's pure entertainment. It's crap.
Yeah,
it's not pure entertainment.
It's not good, but it's got some fun moments.
It's so underratedly entertaining. It's such an underrated movie for being because it's so like cynical and crappy.
Yeah,
but it's so entertaining. I love
that part
it.
of the beginning where the guy gets his eye ripped out and picks it up off the field.
Yeah,
it seems like a bit much.
A bit much. Definitely is a bit much. Let's see here. James Johnston. Baron, he says, just needs a hug. I don't think he needs that. He needs to get paid.
Tyrell Davis, with the Wyatts winning at Survivor Series, would you guys consider them major threats?
I think they're being booked better. They got Randy Orton in their family now. Yeah, definitely. Robert, hey. Do you feel that SmackDown has been given enough time after Survivor Series to build up to TLC?
Yeah, it's only 2 weeks.
Tight squeeze.
It's only 2 weeks.
That is a tight squeeze, Robert. Hey, I don't know. I mean, luckily they had a bunch of storylines going. That was kind of the thing about Survivor Series, though, is that it was kind of in a vacuum.
Yeah,
because everything was all brand versus brand, but there were previous storylines happening.
Well, then they wove in some of the storylines. For example, Baron Corbin getting involved in the cruiserweight match.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
You're next.
East Bay Hardcore Champion Ricardo Reyes.
Good question.
Great question.
Yeah.
Yo, friendos. I recently read that WWE prefers to hire writers from TV and film. Who would you hire from Hollywood? Ricardo says Max Landis or Joss Whedon.
I think Max Landis has said that he's been
a consultant,
a paid consultant for Raw.
Yeah,
that's what I think he said that in the past. I would say Aaron Sorkin. No, you had a better one though.
Wes Anderson.
No, that's not that one. No,
David Milch.
David Milch from Deadwood.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty good.
That would be fantastic. The storylines interweaving it'd be amazing. It'd be fantastic.
Who else?
Oh, man. Wouldn't mind one episode directed by Quentin Tarantino. Remember he did that for like CSI, I think, or something silly like that. I'd like to see that. Let's see here. Those are good answers. A David Fincher episode of SmackDown would be good.
Well, this is written by, not necessarily directed.
Did Fincher write any of his stuff?
I don't think so.
Is there nudity? Who wrote? I know it was adapted from something, but who's this? I don't know the name. I don't think it's anybody popular. Showrunner for House of Cards.
Oh, Bo Willimon?
Yeah.
He just left.
Yeah.
This is his last season.
With his fourth season.
Yeah.
What did you think of the fourth season?
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I liked that RoboCop was in it. Let's see here. Penultimate Tommy Wiseau. Oh, hi, Marks. That's good. I like this as a new thing. Naomi's entrance is great. It's just missing something. A pop from the crowd. They're too busy dancing, man. What does either Naomi's character need to do to elicit that pop, or is there some sort of audience involvement that could occur? You know, I noticed in No Mercy, she actually got a decent pop.
Yeah.
I think she did. Maybe the music eclipses it or something. People are just entranced. Because it is the kind of thing where even live, you're like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that is sort of the compromise that you get with that entrance is you kind of lose the immediate pop.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Naomi, they need to get her in a solid feud.
That's what it is. And she just needs to be involved in a solid feud with a quality story being told.
She's one of the more creative wrestlers that the women in
really
the
good in the
division.
ring.
Yeah. I like, and especially coming up being like a dancer. Like to see her and Cameron sort of, in the same place at the same time. And I don't know what they had before that, but being Funkadactyls, and then to see their, how one went one way and the other went the other way.
Yeah. DJ Bryson. Hey, friendos. The dog here.
Hey, dog.
With Daniel Bryan bound to be a Hall of Famer in the little time he...
Hold on, I'll try to decipher it. What current stars do you think could be inducted based on solely their work so far? So he's saying Daniel Bryan...
Based on a small...
WWE time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he exploded in a very short window.
DJ thinks it would be Y2J, of course.
Yeah.
AJ.
Based solely on their work so far. they've been around for a long time.
And Randy Orton, yeah. What about someone that's more recent? Someone who's only been around for a couple of years.
Let's say
Hall of Fame
somebody got a career-ending injury. Kevin Owens would be a good example. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. No to Sami Zayn, yes to Kevin Owens. That's what I would say.
Seth Rollins, yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dean Ambrose? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, why should Roman Reigns' push stop because of early retirement, He'd headline his class.
I like it. I like it a lot. He shouldn't even retire and go into the Hall of Fame. Like, why not? Why not? Maybe they'll get him over. Let's see here. Next, where's the weird Daniel Bryan question? Oh, here it is.
Lower
atmospheric champion. That's the most obscure joke that we made. Lord Craiglesworth, Esquire the Third. Is it just me, or does it feel like SmackDown Live is doing way better about showing the effects of Survivor Series? Feels like they're going out of their way to play out the effects it had on each storyline, whereas Raw sort of continued from where they left off. I'm trying to think. I'm running through everything. I think that there might be. I don't think it's like so much of a difference.
Well, look at it this way: if Survivor Series didn't happen, I don't feel like SmackDown last night would have been that different of a show.
I mean, let's look at it individually here. AJ versus Ellsworth happened again, and AJ and Dean are still going at it. Yeah,
I don't necessarily think that what happened at Survivor
changed.
Series kicked up their feud to a next level.
Nothing really changed. You're right. I don't know. I mean, did they reference it a bit more? Yeah, Nikki and Carmella. Nikki accusing Carmella.
Shane mentioned it in the open of the show.
Shane was loopy as fuck. Yeah, I don't think it had that much of an impact.
No,
I think the writers did do probably a better job addressing it, but I don't think it really made much of a difference. I didn't notice it. So,
yeah. Chris Kimmel, do you think Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt will be the next SmackDown champions?
Yes,
I
do. Smappy Jones, would it have been better if the Wyatts came out right away and beat American Alpha? No, because you know what? American Alpha went through enough tonight. And next week, and it gives us a build. It gives us something to look forward to. Yep. I'm looking forward to that. American Alpha versus Bray and Randy.
Yep,
that's great. I love that.
The undisputed king of imitation, Steve. Who is your favorite wrestling manager / behind the scenes person? Personally, imitation Steve loves Jim Cornette. He managed great wrestlers and is a legendary talker.
And he says here, I could listen to him rant all day long, and I've listened to many Jim Cornette. I need to download his pod. I need to subscribe to his podcast because he does have a very infectious voice, and he is very opinionated, and sometimes you can agree with him and sometimes you can't. But, he, as they say, shoots from the hip quite often. Allegedly, his anger issues have gotten, landed him in trouble with many different companies.
Yeah.
But that being said, nobody's perfect.
Favorite wrestling manager / behind the scenes person has to be Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to find somebody different, and I'm talking about Jim Cornette. I like Jim Cornette. I think, I don't agree with everything he says.
What about J.J. Dillon?
What about Ed Ferrara? Whose fucking idea was it for him to do that JR spoof?
I don't know.
Who needs to be slapped up the side of the fucking head for that one? It was probably him or Russo. Yeah. Who needs to be fucking smacked for that one? When's your Slapnut shirt coming?
Oh, yeah.
James Rodriguez, do you think SmackDown relies on comedy too much?
It kind of felt like that this week.
Tonight it kind of did. Dean Ambrose relied on it when he was champion too much, and that's why tonight sort of felt like, meh.
Yeah. Funk advocate Jason the Cabbie. As nice as it is to see Bray having relevance.
Funk advocate. He's still trying to start shit between us.
Yeah. And fear behind him again. Is bumping him and Randy down to mid-card really a solid move? With as long as they've been main event players, it just seems like a huge step back. And Danny Lloyd says instead of them being bumped down, it seems like they're bringing the titles up. And that's how I'm choosing to look at it.
That's how I choose to look at it as well. I think I understand that point, and that's how I kind of saw it. And then we talked about it about 20 minutes ago, and I think I'm gonna look at this in a way that the glass could be half full here. So have faith.
Yes.
Next, Western States Heritage Champion Matthew E. Williams, Esquire. Moving up the draft.
Yes.
Huge. High energy. He says, I became a wrestling fan because of my grandfather who recently passed. I'm so sorry to hear that, Mr. Williams. My first match of memory was the Skyscrapers versus the Ding Dongs. So what is your favorite bad old school match? No WWF stuff. He's talking USWA, NWA, AWA, WWWF. Any of those work. One of my favorite things is if I'm up drawing late at night or working late at night, I'll put on some WCCW, some AWA, some USWA, and I don't know. I can't off the top of my head right now. I'll think about it for a little bit. I can't think of like a match that stands out to me. I just love feeling like you're there, and when there's nobody up in the house. And it's dark in your room and you're watching it, you can kind of put yourself there.
The first match that popped in my head was it Great American Bash, the one we watched for Book of the Match a while back. The first match with the two rings, the Battle Royal, where the rules were really convoluted, where you had to eliminate people to the ring next to it. And then once they were in there, then they can be eliminated properly. But then like half the people in that match just willfully eliminated or went through the first elimination themselves and just went in the second ring. Yeah. And Dan Spivey was powerballing people, like dropping people on their heads.
Man, I was watching a WCCW from '83, I think. I went back as far as I could. And they had some little people in there. And it was so comical because of how the announcer sort of, I'm going to say referred to them, but okay. It had this level of comedic value to it. It's like when you watch Mad Men and everybody's smoking inside and like one of the kids comes running up and he's got like a plastic bag over his head and they let him play, or the kids aren't wearing seatbelts in the cars. It kind of has that. It's like, man, it said, oh, the kids are going to love this one because they're little people. And they weren't, look, Hornswoggle said this. He said, you can call me midget, you can call me whatever you want, but pay me a good salary, and he's making good money doing what he's doing. And those guys were making a living in the ring, and nobody was really ridiculing them. Like, the announcer wasn't really ridiculing them. It was just another part of the act. Those guys were making a living. And so it was, I don't know, it's just interesting to see the cultural difference. And some of it, I've told you off camera, some of it that I've seen is kind of dark. Like the Percy Pringle thing that I saw is kind of dark. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe they were fucking doing this back then. I mean, I can, but I can't. But that was something that I was like, that's kind of. And then I looked up the one of the little guys, and he lived until like 20. He looked older. He looked like he was in his 40s. And I looked him up, and he lived until he was 76. And it was like 2014 when he died finally. And so I don't know. I love watching Ulsa because it does, for better or worse, it takes you back, and you get a feel for like an era when people kind of thought that like there was the hint, the idea that it might be real.
Yes,
you know. And I like that feel. I really like that feel of it.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Gene the Grappler. Hello, friendos. After seeing the main event for tonight's SmackDown, has there ever been a time where a jobber had to face a champion to get a contract, or is this the first time for WWE? It's the first time I can remember it happening.
Yeah, I know, but there's been a lot of programming.
Oh, I know.
I would imagine. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I imagine it's happened before. I'm sure I've seen contracts on top of hanging from.
But is it a jobber's contract?
James Ellsworth is hardly a jobber.
I know, he's 3-0 against the world champion.
You know, they're not exactly booking him like a jobber.
Nope.
Jimmy Delight, longtime listener, first-time questioner. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi.
Can you think of any wrestlers outside of the WWE at the moment who could make their debut the same way AJ Styles did, i.e. debuting at the Rumble, going straight to main rather than NXT? AJ is so unique in that he had a built-in audience already. I'll say this. Rewinding the clock, Samoa Joe could have come in the same way AJ Styles did.
Bobby Roode could have.
Bobby Roode could have. Yeah, he could have. I always said that he had the look. Did he have the fan? Like, AJ did it in two distinctly different, very large places.
Yeah.
In not only in TNA, but in huge New Japan.
Yeah.
Bobby only did it in TNA.
Yeah.
I think, look, don't get me wrong. I said this a million times. Bobby was ready for main from day one.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But I think coming in straight to the Rumble, straight to the main event, basically, you know, that was a unique situation to, I think, him and I would say Samoa Joe.
Okay.
And I'm not sure anybody, because the only person right now off the top of my head who could do that
It's Kenny Omega.
is Kenny Omega. Exactly.
What about
Adam Cole, baby? No. But maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Silas Young.
Yeah.
I imagine in my mind, Silas Young lives in like a trailer, and his lawyers keep on coming and giving him these $1 million contracts to sign from the WWE, and he says,
And he just tears them in half.
I ain't working for them. They're too soft over there. Give me Jushin Liger. Or is it Liger? Is it Liger or Liger? I don't know what it is.
Jimmy Figueroa. We've seen the WWE be invaded before, but to help a smaller promotion, who would it be interesting to see the WWE invade, and what superstars would be part of the invasion?
SPW.
There you go.
Here in Sacramento. PWG.
Yeah.
If I saw any type of invasion, I'd only want it one place. New Japan Pro Wrestling. I would love to see that, because man, oh man, I love me. I need to go back and watch some of their shit again, because I still have their streaming shit, and I didn't watch their last pay-per-view. I didn't do that. But are we gonna get together for Tokyo Dome?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Are we gonna get together in Tokyo? We're gonna go to the Tokyo Dome?
Not this year.
This year.
No.
I mean next year. We can't do it this year.
No, we can't do that and WrestleMania.
No, I mean this coming year. We can't do it literally this year because it's already passed.
No, I know. I know. 2017.
2017. We're good.
We can't.
We go?
No, because we can't do that and WrestleMania.
We do it.
Can't do it. Not do it.
Alex Foster, fat bastard champion here. What mid-card / lower card wrestlers would you like to do commentary for Raw and SmackDown?
Oh.
Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. I want them to be a commentary team. I want Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, and Renee Young all to be. I want that to be a commentary team.
That'd be good.
I think that'd be a good one.
That'd be really good.
That'd be good.
That would be really good.
Right? That'd be good. What happened to the primetime players?
Andrew Piovani. First off, too sweet for receiving my T-shirt today.
Nice.
So the question, with Revival seemingly going to make their debut on Main soon, what do you guys think of Styles taking them in, making a club on SmackDown? We've been saying that for a while.
Like, man, we've been saying that for a long time now. That's what we want to have happen. That's what should happen, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, Joshua and Martinez. Hey, friendos. So do you think there's any possibility next week they make the women's title match a TLC match? No, I think they would have announced it tonight if that was going to happen.
Yeah. Daniel King. Hey, guys. With James Ellsworth thing looking like it's here to stay, what do you think he will do next? Will he continue to be Dean's little buddy or move on to another story with someone else? I don't know what other story he would move on to.
I have no idea. Are they going to put him on 205 Live?
So, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming Dean and AJ's feud will come to an end at TLC or following TLC.
I would think AJ's going to move on to, I would imagine Undertaker. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Imagine Undertaker with the title one more time. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
The Rumble. Should I hit publish?
Yeah.
Okay, we're live.
Terrence Thompson. How in the hell did James Ellsworth go from being Doink the Clown 58.0 to being 3-0 against the world champion? How much further could he possibly go?
What you've seen, Terrence, is literally as far as he could possibly go.
Yep.
There is nowhere else for him to go. He's going to have one more match against AJ, though.
Yep.
And that'll hopefully just be a squash match. Hidden Leaf Village champion. Oh, that's great. Hidden Leaf Village champion Namikaze Minato. Do you think Rhino and Heath will drop the titles at TLC? It kind of feels that way.
They're going against the Wyatts. It sure seems that way.
I would think so, yeah. Adam Fella, the Kentucky Fried Champion here, world's best chicken sandwich. Since Ellsworth seems to be here to stay for a while, I predict he will drop from the world title scene at some point. Yeah, you'd think. At Not Larry Zabisco. Hey, friendos, not really a SmackDown question, but a Cruiserweight 205 live question. Why do you think the Cruiserweight division has been nothing but failure and disappointment? I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say it's been nothing but failure and disappointment. I think there's been some highlights. I think the Cruiserweight Classic was great.
Yeah.
I think there's been some highlights. There's been some if it wasn't for the Cruiserweight division, we would never have known about Rich Swann or Cedric Alexander, until they eventually made their way up. I think there's been some good stuff. I think 205 Live will help the Cruiserweights.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll let them wrestle in a style that's truer to their own, as opposed to making them adapt to the traditional WWE TV style.
I want it to be the Cruiserweight Classic, but in regular episodic formats.
Yeah. Because the Cruiserweight Classic was great.
That was fantastic.
Great.
Cesar Garcia. I like saying Cesar instead of Caesar. I don't know why. Do you think the Ambrose Styles feud has gotten a bit stale? Some of it has felt repetitive.
Yeah.
Thanks to James Ellsworth, I'll be honest with you.
CJ Rebelli. Hey, friendos.
Hi.
Who would you say is your favorite wrestling family / legacy?
Legacy.
He's torn between the Hearts and the Road families.
Or you got the Flairs now. Got the Flairs. Although David was in there. Doesn't really add to the legacy.
What about there's so many.
The Ortons.
The Von Erichs.
If it wasn't for how tragic the Von Erichs
I know. Yeah.
were, they had something so amazing.
I know.
They had something so amazing there. But, I mean, can you really say anything but the Hearts? I mean, it's got to be Brett, Owen. You got Bulldog in there. You got
the Anvil.
The Anvil. You've got Natalia now. Tyson Kidd, sadly before he got injured. A lot there. And they're all branded well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Friendo Block Party World Champion Liam Wagner. Block Party. Hey, Friendo's new patron here. Thank you
very
Liam.
much.
Bit of a scenario question on this one. If you could have any 5 superstars as your groomsmen at your wedding and any superstar to officiate the wedding.
So we had a similar question last week, I think. But they didn't ask us to name the officiant of the wedding. So that's what we have to do.
Yeah,
we did our groomsmen before.
2 people immediately spring to mind. It's either Vince or it's Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I was thinking Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm. But how great would it be to have Vince do it?
Yeah.
If it could be anybody, I go with Vince. Why not Vince?
Okay.
Look at these 2 people.
What about Ric Flair?
That'd be great. He'd probably go on forever, though. Big Razor Sexy. Who do you think is the best WWE, ECW, and ECW manager?
Imagine one of those supposed to be WCW.
And WCW.
Answer to all of them is Paul Heyman.
Answer to all of them is Paul Heyman. You're next with Michael Cruz.
Michael Cruz. Michael Cruz was watching the Armageddon 2000 Hell in a Cell match, and he was wondering what 6 people on Raw and SmackDown would fight in a cell if each brand had a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. So we need a Raw Hell in a Cell match with 6 people and a SmackDown Hell in a Cell match.
A 6-man Hell in a Cell. Oh, yeah, we've seen multi-man. Yeah, that's right. 6 people on Raw. All right, let's do this. This is who I want to see in Hell in a Cell in the Raw match. I want to see Sheamus. I want to see... hold on a second. I want to see Sheamus. I want to see Big E. I want to see Nia Jax. I want to see Roman Reigns. And I want to see Rusev and Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Those are the people I want to see.
Okay. I guess I'll do SmackDown, huh?
Okay, you can do SmackDown. Kurt Hawkins has to be one of them.
All right, fine. Kurt Hawkins. The Wyatt family.
All 3 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I like that.
Breezango.
Breezango. You win. Tim O'Donnell, what are the chances of having a WWE 2K17 PS4 Friendo tournament where we can set up online matches between some of the fine people in our community? Again, we got to get...
We need the infrastructure in place
to
organize all this.
I like that. Infrastructure. Brody J. Stokes.
Hey, friendos, I watch the tag team matches and just don't find them very exciting besides Slater and Rhino or the Hype Bro occasionally. It's hard to become invested in any of them. What do you think could be done to shake up the SmackDown tag team division?
I'll be honest with you, Brody. Here's the problem with the tag team division. It's a lot of jobbing going on. There's a lot of jobbers in that division.
It lacks star power.
But where the upside of that is that there's potential.
Yes.
Potential for repackaging, potential for swerving, potential for people to break out. So
Yes.
they need opportunities.
As we saw in NXT, American Alpha can be fantastic.
Because he points out here, yeah, absolutely. He points out here, make Ascension the new AP. It's an idea I had. And
yeah. That's a good
so
idea.
that's a good one. The Vaudevillains, I don't know how to repackage them, but I think that's a good first step with the Ascension. What did I give one for the Vaudevillains? I think it was something goofy, like they stopped being time travelers.
Well, they're not time travelers.
What if they start accelerating their time traveling gimmick? Like they're
not time travelers. That's not their gimmick.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
They're
two guys
they're men out of time.
No, there are 2 guys who want to harken back to an earlier era. They're not from an earlier era.
I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be from that time. So you want to emphasize that.
No, they're not time travelers.
They start accepting where they are, when they are, rather.
They're not time travelers.
And they start looking at what happened after they leapt into the future. And so what you see, they're from like the Hackenschmidt Gotch days. So they're like the early 1900s. So the next thing they start looking at stuff from like the 1930s, let's say, like Dust Bowl era. And so they start like dressing like, what do they call them? Okies. Is that still offensive? Okies? It can't be, right?
I have no idea.
It's been so long. I think some people in that neck of the woods, probably find offensive.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just said it though. And then in the 1940s, they dressed like they did in the 1940s. They put on some, like, everybody was signing up for the military, so they put on some military outfits. Maybe
they're not time travelers, man.
And then in the 1950s, we get some culture in the country, and they dress up like what do they call them? The guys with the greased hair.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The jacket. What do you call it?
The leather jacket, like the Fonz.
Exactly like the Fonz. They dress up like the Fonz.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a not hillbilly. It's a Billy. Fuck. There's like a type of music that's associated with
No,
it.
I know. Rockabilly.
Rockabilly. They dress up like rockabilly guys. So that's them. And then in the 60s, hippies. 70s, hippies again. Disco people. 80s, yuppies. 90s, grunge. 2000s, like Fred Durst, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And then now.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
They're not time travelers, though.
I think they are.
No, they're not.
I think they've said that they're time travelers.
No.
We're men from a different era. That's what they say.
No,
We're
I don't
men
think so.
from a different era. They're
Here,
time travelers.
Read the next question. I'm going to do a Google search.
Colt Mallet. I have never been happier about something in my life than JBL making jokes about Ellsworth. Nothing better, in my opinion, than bully JBL. I kind of agree with that. It's kind of entertaining to know that because he's so good on Legends with JBL. He is such a damn good interviewer. And then but you know that he's like a total bully. It's weird. He comes off on Legends as like a learned historian of wrestling, and he's so good on it.
Yeah.
What have we got? Time traveling wrestlers.
Nothing.
Exactly. See. Let's see here. Andrew Wormley. Do you see the WWE putting the belts on the Wyatt family? Yes.
Yes.
The tag belts, yes. Kyle Ulysses. Someone else feel like SmackDown's promos are way better than Raw's. I don't know.
What do they mean by promos? Just the promos promos delivered by wrestlers,
or like production-wise,
the video promos they make for the show.
I don't know. I really like Raw's aesthetic, to be honest with you. That's one reason why I still think Raw is the sort of must-see show. Besides the fact that everything happens there, it's the aesthetic. It feels like a bigger show.
Mm-hmm. Damon Cruz. How do you guys feel about all the new ECW content on the network?
I don't know, man. I haven't dug in yet.
I haven't either. I haven't had a chance.
I need to check it out. I got to do that. And I'll finish up with the mediocre 7 CB Skinner. Do you ever think we'll have a Wyatt family versus club feud?
Maybe.
Kind of seems impossible right now.
Yeah. Not now, but maybe later. Oh, it's time for trivia.
It's time for trivia.
Very exciting.
This is my favorite time of the show because it means the end of the night.
My goodness, this is an absolute mess.
Pick something, damn it.
Have you separated the ones we've already done?
No. Have you already done that one? No mercy.
No. Oh, wow, this one's tough.
I don't think we've had this one before.
Okay.
But you might win today. You might win.
Yeah, you got a tough card for once. I'll go first.
You go first.
Which WWE show aired from 1985 to 1993 and was a precursor to Raw?
I'm going to say it was called Superstars.
Primetime Wrestling.
Okay. All right. I think I kind of might have. Yeah, okay. Okay. Undertaker defeated Giant Gonzalez in what type of match at 1993 SummerSlam?
It's like a match where you just have to knock the other person over.
There's a name for the match.
But it's that, isn't it?
No, you got it wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's a rest in peace match.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was the WrestleMania match where literally you just had to knock the other person over.
That could be.
Maybe.
I wonder what that match would be called, though.
They had a name for it. Oh, I want to find that out.
Okay.
What magical item did Candice Michelle once carry to the ring?
A magic wand?
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
Well, it says a wand, but I assume it's magical.
It's magical. Name the comedian who eliminated himself in the 2001 Royal Rumble match.
Drew Carey.
Yeah. Go.
No, I guess it wasn't a stipulation. I don't know. I thought that was a thing. Maybe I just thought it was a huge deal that the Giant Gonzalez got knocked down or something. I don't know.
Did he actually get knocked down? Yeah, probably. Rest in peace.
What was the name of Tori Wilson's father who married Dawn Marie on SmackDown?
Al.
Yeah. Did you just pull that out?
Fuck yes, that was dope. I kind of semi remember that it was something like that. And okay. Al Wilson. I was gonna say William, but I was like, no, that doesn't make it. William Wilson doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Al Wilson. I'm rad. The Mean Street Posse was comprised of Pete Gas, Rodney, and
Joey Abs.
very good. I'm not sure I would have gotten that.
Really?
Yeah.
In his debut match, R-Truth defeated which former Spirit Squad member?
Kenny Dykstra.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What was the name of the python that replaced Jake Roberts' pet snake, Damien?
Gosh, Damien's one I knew. I don't know.
Lucifer.
Oh, that makes sense. What former WWE Tag Team Champions used the Snapshot as their finisher?
John Morrison and The Miz.
No. Wait, no.
It wasn't John Morrison.
It was
and Miz?
Eminem. It was Mercury Morrison.
Oh, that's right. That's what they had. Melina. It wasn't The Miz, idiot. Yeah. What are you thinking?
So I can tie.
Yeah. Which Hall of Famer saw his 5-year undefeated streak stop at WrestleMania 8 by Bret Hart? Which Hall of Famer saw his 5-year undefeated streak stopped at WrestleMania 8 by Bret Hart?
Man, I can't even think about which one was WrestleMania 8. Here, don't mind me over here.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, there. No mercy.
5 year?
Apparently he had a 5-year undefeated streak. What do you got, 2?
Yeah.
So I get 1. Because I get 1 more than you, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can still get this right. I'm thinking.
You're not going to get it right.
I'm trying to think who's on the WrestleMania 3 card. Fuck.
Right. I get escape foreign object. Use it when your opponent attempts to cheat by using a foreign object card. Foreign object. No mercy. I'm going to add this to my collection of Paul London, the Rene Dupree, the Call Out, the one with John Cena, I think.
I just have to name somebody, and hopefully I...
WrestleMania 8. Just name one person wrestled at WrestleMania 8 who would have been around at WrestleMania, whatever 5 years minus 8 is.
Piper.
Very good.
That's it?
That's it. Damn it. I don't get my card.
Nope. No one gets a card today.
You know what, you son of a bitch? You wouldn't have got it if I hadn't given you that fucking math clue.
What math clue?
Figure out who was around 5 years
no,
prior
I was doing
to
that in my
8.
head,
You
man.
weren't doing
yeah,
shit in your
I
head.
was.
You weren't doing nothing in your head.
I was
you
here
didn't know anything.
talking it through.
You weren't talking nothing.
Oh, you don't know anything.
You don't know nothing.
You became the Intercontinental Champion, too.
Hogan, I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. All right, man. Give me 2 sweet. We
No.
got a day tomorrow that we're going to work also. We're going to get our usual Wednesday off. Here, give me 2 sweets. No? All right. Well, I'll see you early in the morning, pal.
Yep.
Anyways, until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.